Lake Titicaca by Miguel Angel Asturias. The wind blows, making calls. We listen to it pass, gusts, and we keep our eyes still distant. 2, 3 condor flights. We know we must keep our eyes, not let our eyes be stolen by the altiplano that emerges and submerges in every direction. They grow, they grow. The hills, the highlands, the mountains grow. Waves, waves of gigantic, seamless mass from the Cretaceous that become at the height of the American world the fairest crown of water, Titicaca. Mineral water. Other American lakes have vegetable waters. The sun knows it, and it is not a heavenly body, but a fonderie in the west. Water with the cold and shimmer of previous stone. Its sweetness surprises. Water in which the armor of the Incan Empire's conquistadors has not rusted, and it has been entombed already for centuries in its profound vase. Now close your history books. I saw, as the sun was setting, the conquistadors' steel shadows sink in search of the city of gold, hidden by the waters of this Andean Sweet Lake Sea. They accompanied me from the high solitudes, and we discerned, not burning but set ablaze by the sun, that looked more like the braided tresses of women, basaltic reflections of pit-cut rocks. The reflection here is palpable, bulrushes shaking with every sight of the advancing night, solemn with all its stars lying in wait. Through the Puerta del Tiahuanaco, an Indian and the island on which man and woman, the first ones created by the dying star, went crazy and broke their golden cranes. "You're not going to cut my hand off," I had heard the voice of the Indian whose wrist I had just taken unexpectedly, in a no-man's land of waters and silences, to raise the follow of that fingered conch to my ear like an aquatic snail with curdled lines of cabalistic man's tiny fingernails of yellowish mother of pearl gnawed by an avian beak and the skin of labor. I discovered the origin of man in the hollowed hand of that Indian who belonged to the oldest race on the planet, the lone example who spoke a language like water falling from his lips. And then I wrote these verses. The Indian knows full well what this means. It is to be from here, whence America comes. When I released back his hand, he told me of his riches, and I understood that he spoke of the great lake of ears of corn that all of us Indians have in our heart, and from which we get tiny drops of moonlight to form the liquid nocturnal gods whose faces mimic the dark sky with eyes. Other tributaries of the great lake join us as we walk. They travel with their llamas. They see me, knitting their cheeks to contemplate me with their tiny eyes. Do I not deserve to be seen by their big eyes? They play with bulrush roots with their magnificent teeth. The path narrows, weaves through the hills. It will elude us if we do not follow it closely. Another grove of craggy heights and deep, steep, sleeping waters. We approach the shore. Dizzily we descend. The wind, the waves unfolding upon the sand. Someone. The stranger's feet are not dragging, but they seem to drag. The blistered skirt is so low. From the hat one would say a man, but it is a woman by her tresses and her clothing. Her hands do not rest. She weaves with black thread. From what old hegemony does that sorrow come? Other Indians accompany her, but far behind, and others farther. The space does not separate them, but unites them. The great emptiness and the immense silence, the scarce vegetation. Perspectives persist in angles that open and close in the innocence of the transparent air through which some bird of prey crosses. while the clouds quilt the sky, and we have time to turn around to see Lake Titicaca from an even higher footing.